Hey, my name is Anthony L. Williams. Welcome to Mindset for Greatness TV. Remember, it's a paradigm shift, the podcast where we break barriers, unlock inner power, and shift into a life you are already meant to live. Let's talk about manifestation, creating the life we love. Let's just have a conversation. How does that really work? How does creating something really works? Now, do you know that we observe our reality into existence? No, I'm serious. We observe our reality into existence. You have a holographic brain. Let me explain. When you look at me, you think you see me. You see Anthony Williams. But right now, you're seeing light bouncing off a computer screen or a cell phone screen in the form of photons. Even if you see me in person, light is bouncing off, hitting your lens, which is like the lens of a camera, going through the eye lens, hitting the optic nerve, and all this time this picture is upside down. It's going back to the back of your head where you have the visual cortex. Your visual cortex turns it right side up and projects it back out. By the time all this happened, no, it happened in split seconds, I've already moved on and talking about something else. Think about that. There's a scientific experiment called the double split experiment. And this is when we started to observe that we actually observe things into reality, right? The double split experiment, let's say this is a gun, right? It's a photon gun and it shoots light. There's a board in front with two splits in it. There's two slits. Then there's another board behind, right? Now, when this is not being observed, this gun shooting energy waves, right? And it goes back here, and it's all over the place. Because when you're not looking at it, it's in the form of a wave. But what scientists have found out is that once we start observing what's going on, whether it's via mechanical apparatus or in person, the wave turns into particles and start going through the slits like little pellets and lining up with the backboard. So here we begin to realize that observation creates reality. But therefore, if you could think of something, you can have it. If you can hold it in your imagination, you can hold it in your hands. It just takes a little work. I know The Secret and other books have you thinking it's just you sit down and meditate and you visualize and it just appears in your lap. No. Visualization is one part of it, right? The law of attraction works. The law of attraction is working in your life, whether you know it or you don't know it, whether you actively participate or you just let it happen. You see, everything that happens in your life by default is created via the law of attraction, right? But the law of attraction doesn't give you what you want. The law of attraction gives you who you are. So like this multimillionaire told me, in order to see it, you have to first be it. Because whoever you are, that's what you're going to create. So you have to be it now. I'm not talking about fake it to make it. I'm talking about actually being that person that's going to have what you want now. If you're not observing your house will fall apart. If you leave and go away for a long time, and then you come back, you might ask your neighbor, you still see my house? The neighbor going to say, yeah, your house still there. And the house going to look good from the outside. But I guarantee you, if you stay away for any length of time and you go back into that house, it's going to have cobwebs. You're going to see parts in the ceiling where it's separating, or maybe even in the corners. Little things you're going to see just start to deteriorate. But the funny thing is, if you continue to live in that house and you just go away for a short period of time and keep on observing that house stays in contact. Think about it. The house stays pretty much the same as long as you're observing it, right? So this is another theory. We do observe things into reality, right? So like I said, you have to be it to see it. The law of attraction is really the law of vibration. The law of vibration is how you feel, right? So you have to emotionally be that person, be that personality that has what you want, right? Now, I remember when I have a cousin here that came by. I have more than one cousin, but I'm talking about a particular cousin. Ashton, hashtag Ashton. Ashton, I'm talking about you. Right? He came by and he had a Maserati, right? No, I've never really paid attention to Maseratis before. I'm more of a BMW guy, and I've owned BMWs. And I like how they handle. And Volvos before that because of the safety issues. They're very safe, right? But he came by and he had a Maserati. So he said, let's take a ride. So we got in the Maserati. Um, from one end of the block to the other end of the block, 60 miles an hour. That's fast. No, it was a memorable thing because once the car took off, the windows were open. The windows went up by themselves, and the car dropped and just took off. Right. So after that, I started seeing Maseratis. I'd never seen them before. Right. They weren't in my sights. But as soon as that happened, I started seeing Maseratis. I was like, maybe I need one of these things, but no, I don't really need one of those things. I ain't trying to speed. I mean, it's nice, but it's a nice car. I love those Maseratis, but that's not what I'm into right now, right? But the point that I'm making is that I started seeing Maseratis all over the place. Now, there's something in your brain called our reticular activating system, RAS, like your assistant. Once you become aware of something, you start seeing it everywhere. If you buy a red dress or a red car, let's say a red designer dress or a red Porsche, and you start seeing it everywhere because now you became aware of it and now you know it exists, right? So once you decide, make a true choice of what it is you want, set your sights on it, realize where you are, then let go what's holding you back. When I say let go what's holding you back, I'm talking about emotionally, unconsciously holding you back. And these are things that you may not even know that's holding you back. Those are like the 6 things I went over last week, right? They're still on this board. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I don't belong. I'm insignificant. I don't have the capacity. I'm not perfect, right? Because in going for what you want to go for, you're afraid that if you don't get it, you're going to prove that you're one of these. If you don't get it, you're going to prove I'm not perfect. If you don't get it, you're going to prove I don't have the capacity. If you don't get it, you're going to prove I'm insignificant. If you don't get it, you're going to prove I don't belong. If you don't get it, you're going to prove I'm not worthy. If you don't get it, you're going to prove that you are not enough. But what I have to say to you is that you don't try to fix yourself, you just go for it. And if something comes up, then we deal with what comes up, right? We go ahead and get rid of it. Because I don't know if you saw my video shorts. I say that don't try to fix yourself, because if you try to fix yourself, you're going to end up in that rabbit hole, going down, trying to fix yourself. And every time, whatever you look for, you're going to find. And you're going to keep finding stuff. Like my coach used to tell me, you're going to do an archaeological dig, trying to find what's wrong with you. And you're going to find everything that's wrong with you. And 10, 20 years going to go by, and you're going to be still working on yourself, trying to fix yourself. You're going to never attain your goal. Because your goal is not in trying to fix yourself. You need to be who you are, accept yourself for who you are, go for your goal. And if something comes up, then we go ahead and we reorder it. Right? So transformation, like I said, if you could see it, you can be it. If you can see the person that you want to be, you can transform yourself into that person. Right? This is what I want to tell you. Stop trying to fix yourself. Just go for what you want to go for. Hey, I am Anthony Williams, and this was Mindset for Greatness TV. Remember, it's a paradigm shift. Live boldly, love deeply, and create freely. Be your best self. Anthony Williams out. Until next time, be